Would you like to begin?
First of all, I had a fucking brilliant ass day, and now this bullshit.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're not. It's fine. Um,
Sorry, I really
no,
am.
you're not. It's fine. Because if you're gonna wallow, move over. I'm gonna come in and with my floaties on, and let's splash around in the vat of bullshit.
Bullshit. Backstroking.
I mean,
Oh,
I own land in denial. It's a summer home. I know I shouldn't live there. I just visit once in a while. And do I often find myself dipping a toe into the vat of self pity? Yes. Yes, of course I do. I have floaties so I don't sink. But am I going to live in the vat of self pity? No. But what you just sent me, and y'all, it's going to be in the show notes. No worries. It's called the Authoritarian Stack, and it is put together by the Friedrich Ebert Stiftung. Anyway, I don't know. That sounds important. um, but this is an intricately researched, mapped project that Paulette sent me today. Please tell the people what new, incredible, almost now we know irreversible stack of fuckery we're dealing with. Please tell the people. I'm just going to sit here.
okay. So, what I sent her today. So, first of all, big shout out to my brother Delano, who sent this to me. And I read it last night and I thought, no, this can't be real. This isn't for real. But something just wasn't adding up to me with everything else that we're dealing with, right? Because we're focused, let's just keep it 100. We're focused on the surface level stuff, especially after I read this. And it's called the Authoritarian Stack. And it's how tech billionaires are building a post, listen closely, democratic America and why Europe is next. That's the
No, it's
title.
happening. There is like concurrence.
It's happening right now. Okay. And so I read through it and I thought, oh, I got to send this to Heather. So here's what's happening. Basically, in a nutshell, there's this group of tech folks who are considered kingmakers according to this write-up. And it's a group of folks that we all know really, really well. Are you ready? And then we're going to break this down just a little bit. Peter Thiel, he's the architect of this technological map, if you will. And it looks like a mind map. If those of you who are a part or understand what project management is, or if you do a lot of ideas with your companies or with whatever you do, you'll understand what a mind map is. But let me explain to you who's a part of this. Peter Thiel, he's the architect. You know that he owns what? Palantir. Alex Karp is co-owner of Palantir. We also know that Palantir literally, okay, so let me not go there just yet. Who else is a part of this? Elon Musk. He's the voice of right-wing techno-populism. Oculus is a part of this. Who is the owner? Palmer Luckey. JD Vance is the political vehicle, right? They needed to put somebody in position outside of Trump in order to help to push a lot of this stuff forward. We've got the Founders Fund, who is connected to each one of these folks in multiple different ways. Donald Trump Jr., he's also the political connector between all of these networks. He's also part of Lux Capital and 1789 Capital and Oculus and Teal Capital. You catch that? Capital.
I'm sorry. I just would like to point out the super not funny irony of naming this firm 1789 Capital when all they want to do is dismantle the fucking Constitution.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
So Mark Anderson, the ideologue of acceleration. And when you look at the map, you'll see like the lines are drawn through each one of them, showing how they are all connected. SpaceX, of course, Elon Musk, also a part of Donald Trump Jr., and so forth. So basically what's happened, and I'm just going to, not even paraphrase, I'm going to read it. JD Vance propelled to the vice presidency by $15 million from none other than Peter Thiel, who is also a part of this mind map that I'm looking at. And he became the face of tech right governance. So behind him, Till's network, which is Palantir, moved into the machinery of the state. Now, they're calling it the patriotic tech. Okay. And this new thing is an infrastructure of clouds, AI, finance, satellites, drones, and what they're calling, sit down, the authoritarian stack. It is faster, ideological, and fully privatized. It's a regime where corporate boards, not public law, set the rules.
Yeah, and here's the way that this. First of all, if Paulette sends me something, I'm going to read it because I know it's serious and it's necessary. So whatever she sends, I'm reading.
Yeah.
But here's how this opens. Okay. In late July 2025.
Yeah.
Deep within the Pentagon's bureaucratic machinery, the U.S. Army quietly signed away a piece of its sovereignty. A $10 billion contract with Planeteer Technologies, one of the largest in the Department of Defense's history, was framed as a move toward efficiency. It consolidated 75 procurement agreements into one. It was a strategic handover of, I'm just reading, core military functions to a private company whose founder, Peter Thiel, has declared that freedom and democracy are no longer compatible.
My God.
Take a minute with that.
I am, because
well, I mean, like, I know, girl, you've taken several minutes with this.
Yeah.
But like for everybody else who's hearing this for the first time, and if you follow me or Paulette on Facebook or any, just put up a post right before we started recording on this. Like literally, you guys, this is the most important thing you will read tomorrow, today, last week, next week. Like it is.
It's horrifying. It's literally horrifying.
Yes.
It is exactly what we thought the New World Order is. Because that's what it is.
And it's interesting because you and I have said this before, but what we're seeing take place in such rapid succession has been decades in the making, right? So decades in the making. And it's just happening in very fast succession. But what this authoritarian stack details is what they're doing. They being the administration and those who support them and want this new world order is they want us distracted. I'm sorry. They want us off balance.
Yes.
And overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Right. So that this kind of stuff can come through, but we're so like, oh my God, we just can't take any more.
Yep.
There's no resistance to this.
There's none. None. And what's really interesting is, I don't know, Heather, if you've tapped on their faces, it breaks down how they are, where they are, and who they are.
Yeah. So, okay. So let's do that. Okay. I'm going to click. I mean, we all know who Donald Trump Jr. is, right?
Yes.
But then it gives us title, John, the political connector. His role, he's a partner in 1789 Capital and the heir apparent to political financial integration.
Yeah.
He gets his funding from 1789 Capital, which is valued at $1 billion plus.
Look at
He's
that.
also got investments in SpaceX, XAI, and Anduril. I don't know if I'm even saying those right, but anyway, the political links obviously has direct family tie to executive power, and he aligns the presidential office with venture capital interests, right? His ideology is considered patriotic investing.
So let's take that into perspective. Listen to what Heather just said. Patriotic investing. Yes.
Yes.
What did I announce today? If no one is paying attention, I talked about how the National Park Service is going to be releasing the following 2 holidays from free pass days. And that's MLK Day and also Juneteenth Day, because listen closely, they are only focusing on patriotic days. Did you catch that? I need you all to pay attention. Even though we laugh to keep from crying, I want you to pay attention that this is a slow descent into authoritarianism. Even though we say over and over, we're already here, I want you to understand very succinctly that they're telling us already that that is where we are.
Yeah. So, okay. Sorry. I was clicking on someone else's face, but I can't. It's gross. But what does patriotic tech mean? What does that mean? According to this authoritarian stack, it means it's a new block building the infrastructure of control. Cloud, like Paulette just said, cloud, AI, finance, drones, and satellites into one integrated system. It is faster, fully built only on ideology, and it is fully privatized. So corporate boards, as Paulette said, not public law, set the rules.
And they're telling us.
Yeah, which means we can still have elections. They just don't mean shit.
They don't mean shit. And we witnessed that this time, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, anything. Now, according to this particular website, the folks that did the research is actually an agency that is called Friedrich Ebert and Stiftung. Mm-hmm. Now, according to their research, what they have found with this particular group of folks, oh God, this is so, I'm just sick at the stomach. Their investigation, according to what they're saying, our investigation shows how these firms now operate as state-like powers, writing the rules, winning the tenders, and exporting their model to Europe, where it poses a direct challenge to democratic governance. So what that tells me, just from me reading that, is that the US of A is the test bunny for the rest of the world.
Yeah, and you might scoff at that. You might be like, yeah, that's, whatever. But here's what I want. This is part of what they're doing, okay? Not only do they have direct ties into the U.S. government, they also have a slew of people who have been sworn in as lieutenant colonels in the U.S. Army.
My God.
So Shyam Sankar from Planeteer, he's an Army lieutenant colonel now. Andrew Bosworth from Meta, he's a U.S. Army lieutenant colonel. Kevin Well from OpenAI, he's a U.S. Army lieutenant colonel. Mm-hmm. Bob McGrew, also from OpenAI, a U.S. Army lieutenant colonel. On top of that, Peter Thiel's former chief of staff is now the White House director for science and technology policy. Michael Obadal, who was an Anduril, that's AI executive, was nominated as Army Undersecretary while still holding up to $1 million in company stock. Gregory Arbachia has been at Planeteer for like a decade. He is now the federal chief information officer. And Clark Miner, who worked at Planeteer, is now the chief information officer for Health and Human Services.
So they're in place.
So they're already in place. They're already in place. What they're doing, they have very few steps left to take, but if they keep going, it will be irreversible. And this will just be the world we live in. And then we'll wish that those machines from Terminator would come and fuck shit up. Like, for real.
Let me, I read it, but then to hear somebody else read it.
Yeah, I read it, and when you were saying it, I was like,
I want you all to hear me. And I say this often when I say I want you all. You should be, I don't know if I am emotional or if I'm furious or if I'm teary-eyed all at the same time, but I want you to understand that this was never about Republican and Democrat. Listen to me. I want you guys to know that everything that we've been talking about, they want us to talk about. Because it's a distraction to this bigger. That's why you had these folks at the inauguration. That's why you had these billionaires behind this man as he was sworn in. And I want you all to hear me on this. And I know a lot of you all are not going to like it. Your boy, it was a setup.
From the beginning.
From the beginning.
The goal has always been to have J.D. Vance as the president.
And it's right here.
It's laid out. And I'm going to go back to that page because I want to click on his face and tell people what's over here. So J.D. Vance is considered the political vehicle. Trump is just the front.
He's the front.
So obviously we know he's the vice president. He's also the co-founder of Naira Capital.
Yes.
Which is backed by Peter Thiel.
Yeah.
He was a say it with your whole chest supporter for the big beautiful bill, which is considered a national industrial agenda aligning venture capital with defense spending. He is connected with Peter Thiel, who is considered the architect of all this. Mark Andreessen, who is the
ideological.
Thank you. David Sachs, who's considered the crypto czar, and the entire Trump administration, obviously, right? His signature ideology is national conservatism and Christian nationalism. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when people are like, oh my God, how could Trump still be the president? Oh my God. He was never the goal.
He was never the goal.
He's just part of the journey.
He was the plan from the beginning. If we can just get him in, if we could just listen to me. If we can just get him in, we get this guy in and we spin everything in the news the way that we want it to go. So how are we going to do that? We're going to have to control the media.
And so after the 2016 election, I was sitting with I think all the kids were home. Anyway, whatever. I was sitting we were in the kitchen. I was making dinner or something. Kids were at the kitchen table. And my older daughter says, how did this happen? How did he even get relevant? And I'm going to spell it for you. ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, CNBC, MSNBC, and Fox.
There you go.
Okay. And what I mean by that is, of course, I'm not saying that any of those news media, had anything directly to do, but when they decided that he was the story,
yeah, that was the issue.
When they decided that giving him all that airtime,
yep,
was the direction they wanted to go, because you can't call it responsible journalism. Responsible journalists would have been like, he's a fucking joke. He is a sideshow at a circus, and we can't pay attention to him because it's just nonsense, right?
Yep.
That would have been responsible journalism, and to focus on the real grown-ups who were on the stage, right? And I'm not saying there were many of them, but there was one Republican in particular and one Democrat in particular at the time. But by focusing on him, they elevated his stature, and they kept lifting him up into this like stratosphere of relevance that he did not deserve, but that all these people in this authoritarian stack were really fucking hoping for.
And it worked.
He got 4 years where they started putting pieces in place.
Yep.
Then we had 4 years of Biden, which
Yep.
they were still working behind the scenes. Don't think that they went away.
Nope.
And then now they're back at it. And this is, I personally think this is unstoppable at this point.
It looks like everything is already in position. SpaceX is already running. Here's the thing. Each one of these major corporations that's on this list have multi-billion-dollar contracts already with the United States government.
Yes.
SpaceX, Palantir. A lot of these are capital funds that fund literally everything. And I'm sure that if we had enough time, we could literally go down and find out what Teal Capital's money is going towards, what 1789 Capital going to, and all of these folks, right? And so this patriotic tech, number one, everybody's in position. Can I just be clear on something? Ain't no way that man did all of this.
Mm-mm. He's not smart enough, first of all.
He's not smart enough. That's my point.
He's not smart enough.
He's not bright enough to do that. And he's also on mental decline. And it's been that way since his first talk in February. I noticed it. He was on mental decline then. Yeah. And it's actually worse now. And they fully know it. And they're going to allow us to focus on that. And this is almost like taking candy from a baby for these folks, right? Because we're all focused on the wrong thing.
Yeah. So there's also a little map in this article, where it shows U.S. taxpayers who, funding $2.2 billion plus or whatever go into European contracts.
Yeah.
22.5 billion go into government spending at the Pentagon, intelligence, and HHS, right? From there, the Pentagon has contracts with Palantir, Anduril, SpaceX, and OpenAI.
Oh my God.
U.S. intelligence, Palantir, OpenAI. HHS, Palantir, OpenAI. Now, where that gets super interesting is where it goes from there into venture capital. Who's funding it? Palantir is funded by the Founders Fund, which turns around and funds Anduril, which funds A16, which, there's all these.
They're going in and out, and they're going back and forth, and they're helping each other out to get the funding that they need to move along. And guess who is at the ass end of it? The taxpayers, you and I.
Thus, this is unbelievable. It's
they're taking our own money and they're feeding it back to their venture capitalist funds
to the tune of $120 billion plus. To the tune of $120 billion plus. Now here's the 5 domains of privatized sovereignty: data, defense, space, energy, and money, right?
My God.
And those are the very foundations of all democratic power. It doesn't matter what democratic society you're talking about. Those are the 5. But they are also the foundation of the architecture for privatized sovereignty, which is, and I'm quoting, a technological regime where power flows through laws, infrastructure, and automated platforms. And the laws are governed by who again? Corporate boards, not voters.
Not voters.
I mean, I knew, based on our conversation earlier today or whenever it was we had this conversation. Oh, it was, I think, earlier today. Maybe. Doesn't matter. Time is fluid, girl. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't.
We talk every day, so I don't know.
Right, yeah.
But I knew that this was, let me rephrase that. I was afraid of what the current state really is. But when you sent this to me and I read it, It's devastating. It's devastating.
Because you know why it's devastating for me right now as I'm sitting here? Because number one, for a couple reasons, let me be clear, and I don't want anyone to think that I'm on anybody's side, because you know right from wrong still. You're still cognizant enough, you're still aware. You all know from a cognitive perspective, he doesn't have the capability or the mental capacity to pull this off.
Yeah.
And you know that.
I mean, and to be fair, no one person could do this.
No one. Let's be clear. I 100% agree with you. So let's put that on the table first. So you're using a declining individual to do what you're doing. And number two, the other thing is everything that we are doing, everything that we are fighting for, everything. It doesn't even matter.
Mm-mm.
The marching, the talking, the alerts in my. I mean, they matter, right? Don't get me wrong.
No, but that's what's so devastating, right? Is like all these things that we want to do. We're gonna get, the Supreme Court upheld those bullshit Texas maps, right? So we're all like, oh my God, how could they do that? And now other states are gonna try to redistrict the other way, right? To get more Democrats that could be elected in November next year. And in the end,
it's the wrong fight.
It doesn't matter.
It's the wrong fight.
It's the wrong fight. I'm just going to read a little bit more. I feel like I'm just reading the news here, but
yeah.
But I feel like you a little bit, but without the great voice. Okay. So by the middle of this year, Europe was already feeling this authoritarian stack. In Rome, Italian defense officials integrated Elon Musk's Starlink into military communications. In Berlin, two companies, Rheinmetall, I don't know how to say this, and Anduril expanded their joint venture to deploy autonomous drone swarms for NATO. Musk live streams with the AfDs, which I think is a far right party in Germany. Alice Weidel endorsing the German far right while supplying NATO infrastructure. In London, they have scaled Planeteer's 330 million pound, pounds as in British pounds, not dollars, federated data platform across tens of millions of patient records. By May, the British government had to pay KPMG 8 million pounds just to encourage hospital adoption. Meanwhile, a 1.5 billion pound defense partnership binds Britain to Planeteer's AI systems.
I want to scream. I want to scream.
Yeah. This is what Paulette and I were talking about just before we hit record. But once Planeteer becomes indispensable, once Anduril's drones are NATO standard, once nuclear facilities power AI that runs everything else, the transformation is irreversible.
It's going to be irreversible.
Let that sink in for a minute. Irreversible. And then it goes on to now shifts its focus to America. Silicon Valley's authoritarian tech right is not theorizing this world. They are building it. The pipelines are operational. The feedback loops are functioning. The sovereignty transfers are completing. Democracy exists only as a legacy interface, maintained for stability while being systemically hollowed out and replaced.
I'll take over this one. So the question now is whether democratic societies can recognize this formation for what it is and build alternatives before the infrastructure of control becomes too deeply embedded to dislodge.
And how fucking scary is that?
We've been fighting the wrong war.
Yeah. It's so...
I am furious.
Yeah.
There is literally a map. So if you hover over this map at the bottom, it tells you literally there's an entire authoritarian tech right network. And so I'm going to just expand it and let's see what we come up with. So you have, and it's so tiny, I can barely read it.
But if you click on it, like click on anyone, it like
blows
it up.
My God. So everybody is already in position. So ideological alignment, investment, personnel placement, all of that is already done. Board and leadership already done. Procurement and policy. Here's what I need you all to understand when we're talking about this stuff. What we are saying to you is not to scare you, but it sure as hell ought to piss you off. So much so that you should start asking those questions. Because if I've got my bedding panties on, and I think I do, I put her on this morning, I'm going to say this. We're talking about a guy that was a never Trumper. Never Trump. Ever.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden you're all in. Because you're the political vehicle and Donald Trump Jr. is the connector.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of these pieces. So ultimately what this does is this says to me that anything that they had to do to get this guy in, they were going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And they did.
Yeah.
At all costs.
Yeah. So if you click on JD Vance's circle as part of the Kingmakers, he is connected to, he's a founder of the Rockbridge Network. We've talked about that before. He has influenced Curtis Yarvin, who I don't know who that is. I'll have to look it out. In platformed, oh, damn it. Oh, here he is. He's endorsed American dynamism. That's a hard word. Conference. He's influenced Curtis Yarvin, mentored by Peter Thiel. He's affiliated with Project 25. He's been published with the Heritage Foundation and endorsed by them as well. His board and leadership is included with Naira Capital, the Rockbridge Network, and he was employed by Mithril Capital. So, like, when you click on any one of these, it shoots arrows into all these other
places he's connected
circles on the map to show you exactly how they're connected. But I really think we really, really, really need to understand that. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the map while I say this. Yeah. This infrastructure has been in the works beyond Project 2025 for decades. Mm-hmm. They've been putting the pieces in place and just kind of waiting for the technology to catch up, right? Yeah. That's what they've been doing, is they've been putting these pieces in place and then waiting for, AI to catch up. They've been waiting for drone technology that can do all these other things than just fly around and take pictures, right? Like they've been putting this org chart and putting, okay. I know that I watch a lot of TV and movies. Yeah. I'm aware. I don't really think it's a problem, and I have no plans for a 12-step program. But I can't help but read this and think, we don't have a hero coming to save us.
No, we don't.
We don't have the Avengers who are meeting somewhere like, okay, this is how we're gonna shut this shit down. That's not happening. And maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think that I am. And so this is going to continue to march forward, and we're going to continue we'll have rights on paper, but not really.
It won't mean shit.
Yeah.
It won't mean anything. And here's something else that you need to pay attention to is that in the middle of all of this, while we're talking, Project 2025 is officially at 50% complete.
Oh, shitballs.
Couple of things that have happened recently as of November 13th, Department of Energy. We need to talk about this because it correlates completely with what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Completed November 13th, expand energy exploration and extraction in where? Alaska.
The last pristine wilderness in the United States.
Correct. Absolutely. Open National Petroleum Reserve to leasing and development. It's done.
Yep.
Done. Completed November 20th. Eliminate the Office of Grid Deployment. That's also the Energy Department broke up the Grid Deployment Office. Completed November 20th. Eliminate the Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy or reduce its funding. The Energy Department, quote, rebranded it as the Office of Critical Minerals and Energy Innovation.
Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah. Can we just talk for a minute what's tied to that mineral? Blah, blah, blah.
Please do, because I know where you're going. Go ahead.
So a few months ago, maybe last year, time is fluid. Give me a break. Menopause brain has that happen.
Yep.
Burkina Faso said, all you white folks got to get the fuck out.
Yep.
And we're not playing with y'all anymore. We're not going to let you exploit us, pillage, rape our people, rape our land. We're done. Get the fuck out. We're going to keep all our riches for ourselves. And that's the end. Which, by the way, is why shit started to fall apart in France.
In France, yes.
And they were all protesting because the French government was like, oh my God, all of our riches, shockingly enough, come from the African continent.
Well.
God. What do you know?
Ibrahim Traore said no.
Yeah, he said no.
Yeah.
So color me, oh my God, shocked and pissed off when two other nations, and I forget which ones they are, but I'm going to look it up now because I didn't know we were going to go in this direction.
I didn't either, but we're here.
Trump agreement, minerals, Africa, because I don't know what countries it are. And by the way, I hate it when people refer to everybody who lives in an African country as being African. I get it. Technically, it's correct, but there are like 100 countries in that continent. Let's be specific.
Yep.
Okay, the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda. Oh, wait, that's a peace plan. Is that correct? Oh, yep, and they signed a deal. Okay. On copper, cobalt, lithium, and gold reserves. And guess what we need all that stuff for, guys? Just guys.
Tell them, please.
Technology. The technical sovereignty we've just been talking about.
Bingo. Hold up. There's one last more.
Oh, because of course
completed November 20th. Eliminate the Office of Clean Energy Demonstrations.
Yeah.
The Energy Department broke up the Office of Clean Energy Demonstrations, and all of these, how funny, are necessary to build the data centers that are going up in so many rural communities and poor Black and Brown communities around the US of A.
Yeah. It's interesting because here in Wisconsin, Microsoft is building a $3 billion AI center in Racine. Kenosha is fighting it. And then I don't remember what the company is in Port Washington, but a woman spoke out against it. And then law enforcement dragged her out of the fucking public meeting. And she wasn't being belligerent or anything like that. She just told them to their faces they were full of shit. And she was dragged out of a meeting. That's what's happening. And by the way, for those of y'all who don't know, Port Washington is a predominantly white community on the shores of Lake Michigan, north of Milwaukee.
Yep.
Okay? It's not White Folks Bay, but it is close. You know, if you know, you know.
Yes, I know.
But it's close. And so it's not as if, you know, she was a Black or brown woman who stood up to make herself known. And because we know that this is happening in communities all over the country where Black and brown people are just being grabbed for no reason, right? So, but no, she's a white woman living in her predominantly white community, telling them she doesn't want this thing, that they lied and they're full of shit. And then she is dragged bodily out, and people were trying to stop law enforcement from taking her. And those people were like shoved to the side and just get out, right? That's what we're all going to be faced with. But in the end, and I hate this grim view of it, but based on everything we've just told you about this authoritarian stack, and again, it will be linked in the comments. And what I really want you to do is, if you're watching this and you haven't clicked on that link, open that link in a different window and follow along to us as you're looking at the map.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that will be like, oh, they were really looking at this in real time while they're talking. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I have never read something. This, first of all, it's laid out very simply, right? It's easy to follow. It is, they're not using lofty academic language. They're not doing that. But it's really simple to follow because they've made it. I mean, listen, sometimes you have to explain things to me like I'm a 5-year-old. That's what this does. That's what this does.
It does. It really, really does. And you know what's really interesting is no one's talking about it. Like I said, my brother sent it to me, and I was all ready to talk about something else. And then I thought, nah, because I literally reported on a couple of things today, right? So like I reported on this whole, everything that's going to be coming out of the National Park Service is going to be patriotic. But one of those days is actually Trump's birthday. So that's one. And then the other one was, I think I reported on something else as well. And we are reporting on Venezuela, and we're reporting on Colombia, and we're reporting on all of these other things. And they have us. Here's folks, for those of you all who pay attention to myself and Heather on social media, I need you all to hear me. Again, you all know how I am. If you follow me when I'm live or when I'm not, I always say these things. I don't care who you voted for.
Well, I do.
No. Huh?
I do. Because because you're part of the reason all this shit is fucking happening. All this shit
is happening. But here's the thing. It's too late. It's too late. We're here. That's why I said what I said about.
I know, but I do like playing the blame game occasionally.
Okay, well,
let me have that for a minute. Okay.
So here's the thing. Here's what I need you to understand. You still need to know what in the world is going on right now, because this has never been, and this is how they got us, right?
Yep.
They needed us to follow this whole blame game. Like you were just saying, Heather, we had to be like a wrestling match. Like my team, rah, rah, sis, boom, bah, here, I'm a Republican, rah, rah, sis, boom, bah, I'm MAGA, I'm this, I'm that, I'm Democrat. They needed us to do that. And guess what we're doing in the comments? This is what we do. And I've watched it. And I try my best to provide the facts and information whenever I go live or whenever I am providing you with information that I learn about. And I dig and do my research and say, hey, I got this information from X, Y, and Z. Go ahead and find out for yourself if you feel so inclined. Yes. The reason why I do that is because I never, ever, ever, I don't care, Republican or Democrat or MAGA or whatever you call yourself, I don't ever want you to think that this is about me getting over or winning. I want you to understand, not one of us who are tax-paying U.S. citizens on this side of the aisle are winning. I need you to get that.
Yeah.
This is not about he won, get over it. We're past that.
We are absolutely past that. You are 100% correct. It's why it's so important for people to understand that what is happening with this authoritarian stack and this tech right network, and what is the term they use? Shit, now I can't find it. Privatized sovereignty. This technological whatever. It's critical that we all understand how it works, because once you understand how a system works and is put together, that's really the only way that you can learn, number one, how to operate within it so that you and your family are safe and healthy and thriving as much as you can, right? Number one. But also how to push against it and how to not be part of it anymore.
Yeah.
Or to separate yourself as much as possible. That's why last week, Paulette and I were like, grow your own food. Grow your own food. That's part of it.
I'm so disgusted right now. Because I feel like I fell for the okie doke as well. Like I could see, like I just watched an interview with this guy, Peter Thiel, like this morning. And it was absolutely disgusting because he was like, everybody doesn't need to survive. This fucker said that shit. And what really got me was his whole thing was something about it not being democratic, and that there are just certain folks that just don't need to survive this whole thing. And we arguing over who getting goddamn food stamps. Yes, I cussed just like that. We're arguing over whether or not you deserve, and these people are literally building an infrastructure where you won't even be able to make it to the edge of the red carpet that leads to the red carpet of any of this.
Yeah, they want people, they want us dumb, sick, and desperate, right? They want that because they don't care about anybody who doesn't fit into their very whitewashed version of the world, right? Where they are the kings and everybody else, we are the serfs.
Yep. And that's it.
And I would just like to be super duper clear about this. They don't want black and brown people to be the serfs.
No.
They would like to put black and brown people back in chains.
Correct. And they're already working towards that with what's happening currently with prison companies like GeoCorp and so forth, right? Yeah. So even with the map that we're currently looking at, the map is probably much larger because they are rounding up the people that they believe do not belong in the society that they are building, or that because it's being built in our face, and we're so busy paying attention to the things that don't matter. And let's be clear on something else. If you're poor and white, you don't fit either.
But what I'm saying by that is, if you're poor and white, you're going to end up as a serf, right? Like I would end up being a serf because I don't have the money to join that rank of the elite, right? I'd be a serf doing whatever it is they tell me to do just so that I can get my daily allotment of bread and gruel, right?
There you go.
Period. Black and brown people, on the other hand, if they can't get you out of the country, they're going to put you back in chains. That's their vision. That is their vision.
I wish there were a way. No, there's just no way. What I'm going to have to do is I'll share some of this a little bit and screenshot some of it because they need to see this as well.
When I put my Substack article together, I will screenshot this, but obviously the link to this will be in there as well.
Yeah.
Girl, I can't put, my editing skills are not awesome with the video.
No, it's okay. No. That's good. I was just thinking, this is so important for everyone to see.
Yes.
You ever been played so hard you're angry to the point where you want to cry? I'm there.
Yes.
Y'all,
I'm there also. That's why I'm saying when I was reading this, that's why it's devastating. I mean, one of many reasons, but yes, it's devastating.
Outside of the fact that we have what do we hit? 1 million unemployed right now? Like,
so that was originally what we were supposed to talk about today, is that like 1.1 million people have lost their jobs, which is way more than during the pandemic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what Paulette and I were going to talk about today is the rate of job loss right now, because it's astronomical. I'm going to find that right now so I can not say numbers that are not correct. 1.1 lost job. I can type jobs lost. Okay, so according to CBS News, employers have cut 1.1 million jobs this year. And what is behind which is through November, the most since 2020, when companies laid off 2.2 million workers as the pandemic was slamming. The layoffs represent a 54% increase from the same period last year. And it's only the sixth time since 1993, so 32 years, that job cuts during the first months of the year have risen above 1.1 million. So tech is driving the surge in job cuts. Mm-hmm. What were we just talking about? Mm-hmm. Right? That's number one. Tech is driving blah, blah, blah. Yep, that's retail sector. Okay. Layoffs from when Doge was doing their tearing through the federal government.
Yeah.
Bullshit. That's another one. And then there's the top industries that have changed is so retail stores were expected to hire between 265,000 and 365,000 seasonal workers, mm-hmm. but last year they hired 442,000. So that's a huge difference, right? Mm-hmm. Other sectors with the largest number of job cuts: services, almost 70,000, telecommunications, 38,000, food, I'm not sure if that means like fast food or groceries, I don't know, 34,000, the nonprofit world, 29,000, media and news, 17,000. But they can't cut very much. Like, I know people are like, oh my God, compared to those other numbers, 17,000 isn't that many. You have to remember, this is a game of attrition, a game of increments.
Yes.
So 20%, newsrooms have been losing roughly 20% of their workforce every year for the past 20 years.
Correct.
Right? So newsrooms have shrunk. The legacy newspaper in Racine, which is the Journal Times, has 2 reporters. They used to have this whole ass building. Like this whole ass building. They did printing there. They had their advertising. They had all this. They have 2 reporters. They're in a small corner office in their same building that they rent out for all these other purposes.
My God.
Okay. So people, anyway, that's
wow.
So we were going to talk about all that today.
Right.
Until this
shit show. No. And it's no longer a shit show. This is well orchestrated. This is strategy. And so what I need you all to understand, God, I keep saying that, but I need us to get this part, is that this is the chaos that we've been experiencing for the past year.
Yeah.
Has been well fucking orchestrated.
Yeah.
All of it. And now he wants to get rid of Kristi Noem.
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah. My news feed
is that happen
right now.
Okay, so in my defense for being a little bit behind, I actually had a very lovely day doing everything but this.
Yeah. Oh my God, today. I wished I could say the same. The day that I thought I was going to have, it started by receiving. So guys, okay, here's a true story. And Heather, I don't know if you know this. I think I may have mentioned it to you. So when I retire for the evening, I have a pillow in my bed on the side where a husband should go, where 2 phones go. And when I go to sleep at night, my news aggregators continue to run. So I know that's a lot and that's excessive.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yes. Go ahead. Sorry.
But it's true. I literally have a pillow and I put my phones there. Yes, I said with an S. And when they go off, it'll vibrate, right? And so this morning, I got the first alert. So normally before I even get out of the bed in the morning, I'm already posting content because it's so important to get all the news and all the information. So I saw, my goal was to get up and put on my little two-piece outfit, my little black outfit, and I was going to go have coffee and brunch at one of my favorite bookstores. And then I was going to, piddle around and not do any shopping, but I was just going to do like the thing I do on Saturdays to help me to relax. And then the first news piece came out, and that was the one on the National Park Service. And then the next news piece came out. And before you know it, I was sitting down, drinking coffee and sipping tea while I was talking about all of the things that were going on. And before you know it, it was 6 o'clock, and now it's bedtime. Mm-hmm. So, I am not disappointed because I really wanted to do all the fun things that you did today. And it looks like you had a great time.
I did.
And then my brother sent this piece to me at about 3:30 or so. He goes, you definitely.
I hate your brother for it, but I love him too.
Would you?
I said I hate him for it, but I also love him too.
I know. And I was like, what? And he was like, just read it. I think you'll find this very interesting. And then he goes about his day, right? And so I'm just like, bro, where? And so if you think I'm bad, Delano is 30 times worse. Worse. And unfortunately, when I was reading through it, the only thing that I could think of is that this was all strategy. So really, what we are witnessing in terms of the news and information, I'm not saying that it's not important, but it's all smoke and mirrors. And I'm angry for that.
Yeah.
Because they playing us against each other so that they can continue to do the shit that they're doing. And we won't be none the wiser while we're talking about the things that don't matter. And they're creating the infrastructure that is going to remove our very democracy before our eyes. And they've done it. And I'm disgusted.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I hear you typing away, and I apologize. I don't want to.
No, I was looking something up. I wanted to know about the Kristi Noem thing. It's good. You're good. You're good.
Yeah. So, because I know and I knew you were researching something. So whenever you hear either one of us type and we're talking.
Yeah. We're like, let me look that shit up.
Let me look that shit up. Right. And so So Trump is basically kind of looking for somebody else to kind of, this dude don't know what he want to do.
Yeah. I mean, here's what I think. First of all, we all know he doesn't actually call the shots, right?
Nope.
He doesn't
of course.
He doesn't call those shots.
Right.
But he Katie Fang had the story. A week ago.
Yep, it just came across my timeline.
Huh.
Yep. So he's moving closer to firing Kristi Noem as ICE sent attack dogs on a migrant. Is basically the highlight that I got. I had heard in the wind.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What?
Well, basically, what's happening is that hang on just a second.
Yeah, go for it.
I can pull this up.
You guys might also hear clicking. That's me playing with my 3D dragon because ADHD is a thing and I need to fidget.
Yeah, that's why you constantly see me move my papers. All right, so here we go. Despite overseeing Trump's flagship mass deportation agenda with unwavering loyalty, the Bulwark is now reporting that DHS Secretary Kristi Noem is increasingly rumored to be on her way out as senior White House officials grow frustrated with her leadership, especially her reliance on controversial advisor Corey Lewandowski, while former DHS officials say she has recently taken a diminished role in directing department memos. Trump may replace her soon to reset the administration's immigration effort and refresh public perception, potentially bringing in a prominent GOP figure expected to be newly available. Secretary Kristi Noem acknowledged in a new court filing that she personally ordered Venezuelan detainees sent to El Salvador, despite a federal judge's directive to return them to the U.S., reviving a major separation of powers clash as Judge Boasberg considers contempt proceedings over the Trump administration's defiance of his order. And after an Afghan asylum recipient shot 2 National Guard members, immigration hardliners and senior Trump officials are using the incident to push sweeping new restrictions, including expanded travel bans, mandatory in-person asylum interviews, revetting or deporting up to 2 million recent arrivals from countries of concern, and a full overhaul of adjudications, marking what insiders call an inflection point toward far more aggressive screening and mass deportation policies. And Senator Patty Murray accused ICE of using an attack dog to severely injure an unresisting man, Wilmer Toledo Martinez, after agents allegedly lured him outside under false pretenses, denied him timely medical care, and traumatized his family, an incident emerging amid other reports of violent ICE enforcement actions in the Pacific Northwest. And the image of his back being chewed up is absolutely fucking horrifying.
So I don't know how to say this without like it sounding like I'm minimizing what happened to this gentleman, because that is never the goal, right? Like what happened to him is horrific, and those people should be charged.
Yep.
They absolutely should be charged. They should be buried under the jail, actually.
Yep.
But it's things like that that are meant to distract us
Bingo.
from this other stuff.
Exactly.
And by shining a light on that, and it should absolutely be shown.
Absolutely.
Highlight.
Absolutely.
Shine
Yes.
that fucking spotlight. Make
That's
those
how we're
people,
missing this.
But that's what's, yeah. Overwhelmed and off balance.
Yes.
That's how they want to keep us.
Correct.
So they do stupid shit like this by having a dogs, whatever, attack this poor man. Meanwhile,
all this is going on.
All this is going on.
And you know what else? Here's what's even more frustrating in this whole thing is that the people that are a part of ICE, the people that are a part, the Kristi Noems and all of these people who are walking around thinking that they're doing something fabulous and wonderful, they're also being played.
Of course they are. They're too stupid to realize it.
They're too stupid to realize it because they have quote unquote power and they're being paid. And I want you all to also understand throughout all of this, just like this map, your tax dollars are taking care of all of this. Your tax dollars are fueling every last bit of it. And if that does not infuriate you, it absolutely should. And so now
this is the very definition of taxation without representation.
Oh my God. And we're living in it right now. And so here's the other question that I have. And so now here we are in this, we're not belittling what's happening to this guy or anything else that I just read. But here's the other thing that is going to be foreshadowed. And God, I just lost my chain of thought. But we gotta look at also everything else that has happened over the long haul and how, and okay, Paulette, slow down. This is how frustrated I am about this whole thing. The chess that they are playing is so high end. I don't know if we can even officially catch up and get ahead of what's already in position. How, now that we know this, now that we see it, do we scream this from the rooftops? Who do we, I mean, because at this point, it should be, okay, how do we dismantle this?
So, at the risk of sounding like an oversimplified good guy versus bad guy movie, honestly, we'd have to blow up a bunch of shit in very real sense of what I'm saying, like actually blow them up. And I don't mean people, although some of them I might not have an issue with.
You know,
what? I'm just going to say the quiet part out loud. They seem to and don't catch any shit for that.
Right.
But I mean like their physical like their servers or their whatever's that they have, right? Like they would have to be
destroyed.
Like Elon Musk's satellites would have to be blown out of
the sky.
Out of the sky is what I'm saying. Like it would have to be that sort of physical response to, like that's what I mean. I'm not talking figuratively. We got to blow that shit up, meaning, break up this or break up that. It's too late for that.
Oh my God.
Do you need a support dragon? I will send you one.
Wait.
Do you need a support dragon?
No.
What do you have? What is that? I think we need a whole goddamn orchestra at this point. I'm just saying this is actually quite handy. Because honestly, all this makes me do is want a real dragon. Like I want a real one.
Right, to blow up some shit.
I want a real one. I want it big and I want it to fly and breathe fire. Like fucking Game of
Thrones. Ass. It's got to be able to kick some ass. Girl, I have never been so speechless. And it takes a lot for me to be speechless.
I feel you. That has only happened to me maybe 5 times in my entire life, and I am 57 years old.
Girl, I'm like, is this for real? This is for real, y'all? And if you are not furious, if you are not asking questions, and you know what? Here's what's even worse. Ain't no congressman to call.
No, because they have no power in this.
None. That is absolutely clear. So then here's the other question. What happens in the midterms, which are coming up? What do you do? How do we highlight this to those people that we want to vote in? Because here's the other issue with all of these corporations that are these PACs and these super PACs and these APACs and these lobbyists and all this other stuff. And I'm just throwing names out there, right? Who do we trust not to take the money so that we can get the people in position that we need? These are the questions we should absolutely be asking ourselves at this point.
Well, here's the thing. First of all, the number of people that we can trust to not take the money, that is a short ass list. Okay? It's a short ass list because people who we thought were fighting for the right things, Hakeem Jeffries, Cory Booker, they're all taking
They're all taking APAC money.
They're all taking APAC money. But you know who's not taking APAC money? Jasmine Crockett's not taking APAC money. Yeah. I don't think AOC is either. Bernie doesn't. I don't think. Does he?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. Gwen Moore does not. My congresswoman from Milwaukee does not. So the list of people who don't take the money or who won't take the money, short, like depressingly short. But even with that, so here's also what we're not taking into account, and we are over an hour, so this might not even be the time for this discussion, but MAGA is a cult.
It is.
And cults hold together as long as the charismatic leader remains in charge of the cult, right? But when Trump dies, which God really would love to be almost any day now, I don't know what to tell you. This is where I'm at.
Your face. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what to tell you. But once he is no longer that charismatic leader at the top, cults typically fall apart.
They do.
So then that begs the question, even though we have this privatized sovereignty move going on, J.D. Vance is not going to be the cult leader they need him to be. He's definitely the puppet.
Yeah.
But is he really the leader who's going to keep this coalesced movement going? I don't see that happening. And so then it begs the question,
Then who?
Then who fills the vacuum? Number one. Number two, if they can't fill the vacuum, what are the chances of stopping this? Because here's another thing, and I know I realize I've been very gloom and doom, and that is very un-Libra-like of me, but here we are.
Right. It's okay.
But it does beg the question that if, this is a lot of ifs, so follow my ifs.
I'm following.
Okay. If Trump is no longer the MAGA leader, the cult falls apart, and nobody coalesces behind JD Vance other than these kingmaker assholes, right? He really can't pull the needle. He's not going to be able to move the needle on support, right? Number one. Number two, if the midterms happen with fidelity, meaning we all get to vote, the votes actually count, people get sworn into office, are those people going to be enough,
right,
to dislodge the systems that are already in place? Because while there isn't anything really that we can do on the ground level, like me and you and anybody else watching this, these systems are in place. They are being, it's kind of like flying the plane while it's being built, kind of a thing. But according to this Authoritarian Stack article with the maps and the things, it's not a fully done deal yet.
No.
So do we have the opportunity to disrupt and replace?
And I think,
yes,
I think we do. Here's the first thing is, number one, doing exactly what we're doing right now, right? More people who are on the brain wavelength that we're currently on, and others need to be educated about what's really going on. And we got to start singing it from the rooftops. I think that's the first thing, because I don't think enough people know about it. And I do news every single freaking day. And now I feel like you're such a fool because you've been reporting on the wrong damn things. So now
you can't feel like that though, because you don't know what you don't know.
No, and you're right about that. But at the same token, I'm like, damn, how did I miss this? And so again,
how did you miss? How did you? We all fucking missed.
We all missed it. You're right. Okay, yes, ma'am. Squeeze your dragon for me. So I think. So I think now it becomes telling these stories, breaking it apart now. Now it's time to break it apart, right? So now we know what we know. It's time to take the map and let's break it down, because we can't not at this point, because now it's in our face. And now we got to start connecting dots, because it's right there and the dots are connected. But it needs to be so simple. Like you said, even a 5-year-old or even now a 3-year-old can understand, because there are going to be people that are going to look at this and go, well, I still don't get it.
No doubt. It needs to be very clear that Peter Thiel is attached to this, influences that, and now has 75, what used to be 75 procurement agreements with the U.S. Army is now 1. Here's why that's a problem.
Horrifying.
Right? Here's what is this Jagoff's name? Hold on, I gotta get back up to this.
Elon Musk is one.
Well, yeah, we hate him. But anyway.
JD Vance.
No, I know, but I was looking for this other guy. Palmer Luckey, right? So he's attached to Oculus, Theo Capital, Anduril, Lux Capital, the Founders Fund, and JD Vance, right? Okay. Here's why that matters, right? Like we seriously, for the people who are going to read this or look at it and they still don't get it, like that's the kind of breakout I think we need to do.
Yep.
All right, so here's my proposal, and I'm saying it publicly so we keep each other accountable, because we're kind of bad at that. I mean, I am self-aware enough to know that I need somebody to be like, yo. But I think that you and I should work on these as a series of articles with graphics that are like,
must, absolutely.
This person is attached to this company or this founder. or VC capital or whatever, blah, blah, blah. This is why it matters. This is
absolutely
how it could be disrupted. I don't know if we're smart enough to do that. I don't think I am, but we can talk to others.
We can absolutely try, because the first thing that we have to do is look at that initial map. And then break each one of those folks down. And it's already pretty much broken down for us, but I would love to dig deeper on each one of those in detail.
Yeah, I would too. And I also think that looking at this map is a little, for people who might get overstimulated by the visual, it is a lot.
It is.
It's a lot to look at.
It's kind of like when I was doing here's your senator and here's the money that they took. PAC, super PAC. So here's Peter. Exactly. Here's Peter Thiel. Let's talk about who he is. And let's break down each one of these companies and where they're connected, both on a local level, a global level, and a political level. Where exactly is he getting his money from? And then track that back to him. And who's partnering with him, and doing them person by person and piece by piece. I think that is just dissecting it, pulling it apart. We're gonna have to.
I think if we did those and published them on our Substacks, and we can do our own little videos about them.
Yep.
You know, and do it like that. But I think that would help people understand why this is so, because I really wish that StreamYard had like a screen sharing, you know, like Zoom does.
It does.
Because it does?
Yeah.
Girl, how?
But I can't, because I think it's called present, right?
I don't know.
It's right. There's a present button right there.
Hold on.
And,
share screen.
Yep. There you go.
Okay, we're gonna try it. I don't want blames, but we're gonna try it.
Yeah, just try it.
Wait. Oh, record this. No, because I don't want everything. Like, it's gonna show you everything that I have open. No, thank you. And I have like 85 tabs open.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try it. Video file.
See if it'll work on you.
All right, select tab here, the authoritarian. There you go. Boom. You see it?
I do. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is the authoritarian stack that we've been talking about.
Yep.
We should have done this an hour ago.
That's okay. We here.
And then as Paulette's paging down, you'll be able to see the maps that we're discussing. So this is the one that we're talking about for reals. This one. So see how there's all these names and it's shooting into all these directions, into everything. So that, see, that's what I was reading from earlier. And then, go down to the big one at the end. Yeah. Okay, so that's where we're talking about these people are associated with those positions and have been sworn in as lieutenant colonels. Just
look at this shit.
Ridiculous.
Are we sitting up here worried about whether or not people get food stamps? Would you look at this?
Yeah. Oh, look at all these newly minted U.S. Army lieutenant colonels. Look at this. Never served a day in the goddamn military in their lives.
Right.
There's that.
All right. So
so that's what we were talking about, that where U.S. taxpayer goes to this, and then this is right. So there we go. Oh, I didn't know it was that interactive. That's cool. Look at how much money that is. God damn.
But wait. This is what I was talking about. You see how all of this funnels from here?
Yep. Oh, I know. Yes.
And it's horrifying. So your money is going into all of this bullshit, right? Yep. And you're thinking that these people are multi-billionaires just by happenstance? No, it's because of your little $25.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks. Yep. All right. So here we go. We're going to move down further.
So that's the 5 step. Yeah, 5 things. Okay. Defense, blah, blah, blah. All that.
Okay.
Yep. That's we were talking about Europe. Okay, here this map. This is the one where if you click on somebody's name or you even hover over it, all of a sudden it's going to shoot to all these places, but you don't have to follow those. You can just look at that little square on the side. Yeah. Can I just say too, most of these white dudes have the derpiest fucking faces.
You are off the chain. Look at
Look
OpenAI.
at him. What's his name? Rob, whatever. What is his name?
Bob
Bob, who is he? Bob
McGrew. Bob McGrew. Who is
That
he?
is a derpy face.
Former chief research officer at OpenAI, early executive Palantir, early employee at PayPal. So guess who started PayPal?
Yeah.
So they all know each other.
Yeah, they're all bros
together. They're all homeboys.
Tech bros.
Yeah. Let's look at Anthropic. So they're all in cahoots.
Yep. Yep.
Look at that. Partnered with Palantir, XAI, and Palantir again.
Mm-hmm.
Department of Treasury. Well, goddamn.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. So there you go.
All right. So that's why that is important. And that's why we're going to link to it in the show notes so that you can go look at it yourself. And then we will do this series of articles that helps break it down even more. Yeah. So that you can, I'm not going to give you a promise on when those articles are going to get done because
it's a lot.
I don't want to be a liar.
Yeah. Which means it's going to be some digging.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
All right. So on that note,
yeah.
Have a good evening, morning, afternoon.
This has been the Rivalry.
See you next week.